They fail to connect with the consumer. You know, they kind of have a dated look at packaging, it's kind of washed out. You hear comments like, I don't really have a lot of pride in carrying this pouch in my pocket. So 2 years ago at the national sales meeting in Orlando, we talked to you about us entering into this rolled leaf segment. And we told you we were going to do a test launch in 2 markets on a brand called 1882. So we went to Florida and we went to Philadelphia and we launched the 2 SKUs, which are, by the way, in the sweet aromatic flavor, in those markets. Made some tweaks, a couple changes along the way. Fast forward to 2013, we decided to add the entire state of Pennsylvania. So we now had 2 high-indexing cigar states. They obviously were very well-developed backwoods states selling this product. And then fast forward to, say, the past 4 to 5 months, we've really started to see some acceleration of this business. We're getting calls for it outside of the 2 markets. We're seeing an increasing in sales, new points of distribution. And to validate what I'm telling you, let me give you this reference point. In November, just 2 months ago, we sold 900,000 sticks of 1882. Do you know how many we sold for the entire year of 2013? I know Paul Bowen does, don't say it. 3.8 million. So that's quite some momentum. So based on this recent excitement and what we're seeing, we've decided to make the decision that as of April of this year, we're going to launch 1882 nationally. And I'm going to tell you in just a couple seconds a little bit more around the specifics of how we plan to do so. First, I want to point out a couple of things, though. I want you to get familiar with the packaging. Take a look at this pouch. You can look at some of the elements on there that talk about the quality, the equity, the heritage. You can see the Garcia Vega logo on there, resealable pouch. But the most important attribute that you should be taking away from is this new violator section. Look at the very top of the pouch. Hopefully you can read it. It says, like backwoods, try 1882. See, when you've got a 96 share of a segment, you're pretty much one and the same, right? Backwoods equals rolled leaf equals backwoods. It's probably why those other competitors haven't had much success. So we feel that we need to have a message to that consumer in order to let them know what that proposition is all about. And we think that this is a great avenue to communicate that. So as I show you some subsequent slides, you'll see that message. And it's very important that we get this communicated so that people don't think, oh, this is some new cigarillo or a blunt or whatever the case may be. So you will see this common theme. A little bit more on backwoods. 81% of their business is sold between 2 flavors, sweet aromatic and honey berry. So guess what? We've got a line extension coming out as part of this launch. We're launching honey berry. We will now be able to go toe-to-toe with backwoods on 81% of that opportunity with these 2 flavors. But we're not stopping there. Not only are we going to take care of that 81% of the opportunity, we're going to introduce 2 new flavors. We're going to introduce a white grape and a bourbon. I can tell you these have tested exceptionally well with consumers. They're obviously very differentiated. We'll be the first white grape within the rolled leaf segment. And bourbon, let me tell you, guys love bourbon. It's a very manly flavor. People get very excited about it. So we actually think that by adding the items on the left, the flavors on the left rather, we're going to attract new consumers into this segment based on what we do best, which is innovation. All right, so there's going to be a total of 4 flavors. Now, I told you I would come back to some of the executional elements, and in thinking about, how do we need to launch this thing, you go back to what you know has worked in the past, right? So the HTL side of the business has certainly had their share of successes, as we've seen throughout the day. So we said, you know what, we're going to steal from their playbook. Remember how we launched the pre-priced singles on White Owl to try to get trial for the brand? Guess what? We're launching a trial offer, 82-cent single stick, 1882. How about being number one in white grape in everything that we do? I've already mentioned this to you. We'll be the first white grape in rolled leaf. I believe this could stand to be the number one flavor. Time will tell. But as I mentioned, this tested exceptionally well. Consumers absolutely loved it. So we're real excited to see where this goes. How about this idea? A pre-priced, resealable pouch. Now, I don't think there's anyone in this room that doesn't know about the success that we've had on that on the White House side. So I don't need to talk too much about that. But in any event, we're launching a 3 for $182 resealable pouch. And this is an idea, we stole this from a little bit more recent times. You know how on Jackpot you buy just the single shoe? We stole that idea. We said, you know what, instead of having the 2 uprights with the shoe and asking a customer to pay $18.60, we said, you know what, let's ditch that tray. Let's ditch the other shoe. Let's make that acquisition cost lower to the trade, have less cash outlay, and let them have the opportunity for $9.30 to be able to buy a unit of the 3 for $182 format. So we hope that this will lend itself towards more distribution and more distribution across multiple SKUs. Remember this SKU? It's our number one SKU for I think 2 years running. That was the 1355. We're stealing that idea as well. We've got 2 tray displays that will be everyday items. We're going to have a 4-flavored 82-cent single stick display. And then on the right, we're going to have a 10% off 3 for $1.82 display. And this is not final artwork here, but on the 3 for $182, I can tell you it's going to be a stadium-style display. So when you rip off that front panel, you'll have 1 upright of each of the 4 flavors, and it'll be sold at a 10% off pricing. So you already know about the 4 flavors. Here's kind of what the everyday lineup is going to be. We'll have the 82-cent single sticks for trial. We'll have the 3 for $182 pouches. And we'll have a 5-pouch. And obviously the 5-pouch is intended for wherever our retailers don't want to utilize pre-priced, or they're in a market where the pre-pricing doesn't work. Or suppose there's one of these states like Massachusetts where you have all these issues with you can't sell less than 5 sticks. This should solve your point right here, or your issue right here. But also take note on the packaging, as I referenced earlier. Look at that messaging on the pouch itself. Like backwoods? Try 1882. This is a great selling point. The worst case scenario, we are 27% cheaper than backwoods. And if you factor in on a per stick basis, after some of the trade deals, in some cases, we get to over 50% cheaper than backwoods. This is definitely something that you want to have in your selling story. Now, I mentioned we were launching this nationally in April. Having said that, we also want to be targeted with where we go with 1882. And obviously, what that means is we want to go to the most developed backwoods markets. So we grinded out some data and came up with what we are identifying as a top 25 market list. And that's what those dots represent. Now, if you're unable to discern specifically what those dots represent, hopefully you can read the center of the chart, and those will give you the list by region of the markets that we're going to measure our success against. We also looked at this from a tiering standpoint. So we pulled down at a CMPP all of the highest volume, or highest velocity, I should say, backwoods accounts, and basically pulled about 9,500 stores that were selling at least 40 sticks per store per week of backwoods. So we have an Excel file that can get disseminated out to each of you that down to the TR level has every single opportunity store. You can sort it any which way, and that will make its way to you from your region management team. So again, this is where we're going to measure our success. Certainly there will be opportunities outside of the data that I just mentioned to you. There's non-CMPP stores, obviously, that aren't factored in here. So you're just going to have to use your discretion and be choiceful about where you go. There's certainly some key target chains. These aren't all of them that you see on your screen, but these are certainly some of the most important ones that we would love to get distribution into. I can tell you Wawa and Racetrack. The guys in the East probably know this about Wawa. Both of those accounts sell over 100 sticks per store per week of backwoods. So those are 2 that we would definitely be interested in getting into. So we will work through trade marketing and with the regions in order to put some programs together to get some distribution and to get this brand built, not only for those accounts, but to hopefully let those accounts help us build this brand within the marketplaces in which they compete. Now, this is not final point of sale, but we'll have 3 pieces just like I showed you on the game Save On 2. So we will have the shelf talker, the decal, and the counter mat insert. And notice the messaging on the point of sale. So whether or not you're talking about the pouch, or you got point of sale on that front door, at the shelf, on the counter, we are going to hit the consumer over the head with this messaging so that they can understand what this proposition is all about. And again, this is our opportunity to eat into that 96% of backwoods share. We also have 2 coupons. The DR will be packing in every single 5-pouch. There's going to be a bounce back coupon for 82 cents on a future purchase. And we'll also have an IRC. We'll have those rolls of the IRCs that we'll distribute out that the reps can put when they're out at retail. They can put them on the pouches. So we have thrown a lot at this brand. We got the right product. We got innovative flavors. We've got better pricing than backwoods. We've done all this research. We've got great looking point of sale. We've got coupons. We feel like we left no stone unturned here. We're very excited about this launch. And I got one final video here for you. Gives you a little bit of a look at the GYV heritage and a quick overview of 1882.
Garcia y Vega 1882 is a new rolled leaf cigar 130 years in the making. With a name as authentic as the cigar itself, 1882s celebrate the year Garcia y Vega made its first premium Dominican cigar. The all-natural filler is rolled in an aged broadleaf to produce the ideal balance of aroma, body, and sweet taste. An authentic cigar from Garcia y Vega requires a special type of dress code. Freshness is the key to quality, and Garcia y Vega's resealable pouch guarantees that each cigar remains as fresh as the day it was packaged in the Dominican Republic. Garcia y Vega 1882, a new cigar, 130 years in the making.
All right. All right, so I know I've thrown a lot at you. I know that we're getting at the end of the day here, so I just want to summarize 4 key points. So if you don't take away anything from what I've been talking about the last 30 minutes or so, take these 4 things away, okay? Number 1, we've got a new format for game. It's Save On 2. It enables you to put game into any store. We have Game Changer. It's continuing for all of 2014. If you hadn't gotten on board, please do so. Number 2, Pineapple is back. Limited time promotion from February through June with the inclusion of the new 2 for $99 price point. Number 3, we're launching GYV Brown Leaf Cigarillos. We're going to have 2 everyday formats, the 3 for $2 and the 79-cent singles. And don't forget about that intro offer for 90 days. We'll have the buy one, get one pack so we can build some quick distribution. And then lastly, as I just went over with you, we're launching 1882 as of April. 304. For those of you who are unaware of what this symbolizes, this is our Natural Leaf plan number for 2014. I say let's transpose a couple of those digits and let's go for 340. We're already on pace to do so. In fact, we're already on pace to do about 350. I know it's still early in the year, it's just January, so manage the expectations here. But there's 2 things I know for sure, and one of them I've heard about 6 times today, so there must be a lot of validity to it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Anyways, we've got the best sales force in the industry. We have quality and superior products versus our competitors. We can do this. So I again want to thank you all for your contributions on such an excellent 2013 and want to wish you nothing but the best of success for 2014, and I look forward to seeing another record-breaking year. I thank you very much.